Well, greetings, people of the internet. Unky Joe here, Unky Joe's Playhouse. Today, we're going to talk about Synology's Disk Station Manager version 7 beta and how I've put it to work here at Unky Joe's Playhouse. So, let's get that video started right now. Now, normally I'm not a big fan of beta software. I'm always the wait and see what happens kind of guy. I usually pride myself on never doing a version 1 release of any piece of software. But with Windows 10, it's like we're all holding hands and jumping off the cliff now, so why not, right? So I have that Synology Flash Station, the FS-1018, that was so graciously donated by Sasha, one of our longtime subscribers over in the UK. And in addition to that, he also sent me 2 1 terabyte SSDs, so I've got those in that unit. And I also have 6 256 gigabyte SSD drives in that unit as well. So the 6 SSD drives are in a RAID F1 array, and the other 2 1 terabyte drives are in a RAID 1 array. So they're mirrored pairs. I use that for my Scratch video, for my editing, etc., as a place to save my video editing, my workstation files, etc. And then the other array, the F1 array, I actually use as shared storage for my Dell and IBM servers, that kind of thing. So I've set up an iSCSI connection from those servers to that Flash Station 1018. And it works really well, and I'm very happy with it. It also runs some Docker containers on there. I run a Docker for my Unify software, and I run a Docker for my Raspberry Pi DNS Pi-hole server. So I thought it would be an excellent candidate to install that DSM-7 beta. Now the main thing I'm after with the Synology 7 DSM is this little gem right here, the Synology directory server. And we'll get it, oops, sorry, didn't mean to kick the camera there. We'll get more into that later, but basically I'm looking for something like this to replace the need to have a Windows 2019 server for my clients and for myself. So I thought, what better way to test it than to install it? So let's go see how I did that right now. So in preparation, right now the FS-1018 is running version 6 of Synology DSM, and I thought that would be a great candidate for running DSM 7 beta, right? The only thing I really use that Flash Station for right now, because I can't afford SSDs in it, a lot of them, high-end, is I mainly use that for iSCSI storage for this Dell R720. So if you'll see over here on File Explorer, this is the iSCSI share over on that Synology NAS. I'm also running a couple of Docker images over there, a couple of programs I run, one for Pi-hole and one for my Ubiquity equipment as a controller. But I have a bunch of, the problem is I have a bunch of images over here, and I also have my remote install images over here for my Windows deployment server. Don't know why I did it that way. So we'll have to do a couple things and move some stuff around, but today what I want to do is get these virtual machines, the storage off of here. So for example, it's really easy to do with Hyper-V. You just right click on it and do move. Little wizard pops up, and we're going to move the storage. So we're going to move all of the virtual machines data to a single location. And I have a spinning hard drive on here. It used to be my surveillance drive. And we're just going to move that to this folder. Click on next and finish. And so what that'll do is that'll move the virtual machine files over from the iSCSI over to the local spinning drive on this Dell. I'll do that with all the machines. And then what I'll do is under Windows Deployment Service, I'll come under here under Services, because I still plan to keep iSCSI working. So we'll come under here to services, and I should be able to come down here to the Windows deployment server. Let's see, Windows deployment server, services server, and I should be able to stop that. There we go. So now we won't need the iSCSI connection, and then once I'm done getting Synology upgraded to version 7 of the beta, then I can point my Windows deployment server back at this. So I'm going to go ahead and get all these virtual hard drives moved back onto this server so that everything can run here locally without an iSCSI share. And then we'll go over to the Synology and we'll get started on upgrading that to the beta. Okay, let's move the microphone over, and I'm over on Erebor. Now I've got my virtual machines moved off of here. Well, I've got their hard drive controllers moved off of here. Let me, I want to see if these virtual machines are set to start automatically. Let's take a look. I'm just going to turn them off. We have them shut down. I have them set to auto restart, but not, I don't have them just set to start. Let's see, when a container encounters an improper shutdown, the container will try to restart. If restart continuously fails, the restart delay interval will gradually increase. Okay, so they're both shut off. If we go to a website, let's do Synology 7 beta. See if we can join the beta. Boy, internet seems to be running a little slow today. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. My Pi-hole DNS server is off. That's why it's a little sluggish. So here I went right to the beta program. Let's see, the FS. Do they list the FS? Nope. But we'll see if they allow us to download it. So let's go to the beta download center. You know, while I'm downloading this beta, I don't think it's going to make any difference. Let's do a FS-1018. Submit. And they do have a DSM 7 package. Let's see if they have. See if they have a new Docker. Well, yep, they have a new Docker. Okay, so we'll have to go out and upgrade Docker, I'm sure. Okay, let's go ahead and download the update. And again, this is not a critical NAS. Do not do this on your your NAS that's in production. That would be, I mean, it goes without saying pretty much. It's really slow to get a connection going, but I think once it gets the connection going, let's see here. All right, so we'll save it under applications, and we should have a Synology directory here. Let's see, Synology. Yes, we do. Synology NAS. Here we go. We'll save it. It's done. It's scanning it for viruses. Okay, so it's downloaded the file. So let's go back to Erebor. Hopefully, let's go to Control Panel and Update. Hopefully, it'll let me to. I want to choose a manual DSM update, and I'm going to browse to where that file is. So we'll go to the Z drive. You see, I'm from a time that remembers before the internet was pretty reliable. So I save copies of everything everywhere. So yeah, call me crazy, but I just like being able to have the files available offline. I can still do some things. So okay, so there's the DSM that I just downloaded. So I'm going to click on open on that. Click on OK. It's going to upload the file. It's not very big. It's about 260 meg. Of course, keep in mind my first hard drive was a 40 megabyte hard drive. So now it's warning me there are still connected iSCSI targets. You're advised to disconnect. I'm not going to. I don't have anything running. So I'm going to read this DSM update completely. And I don't know that you can downgrade back to version 6. This warning is it takes 10 to 20 minutes to complete. Yeah, third-party packages, the only thing I might have trouble with are Docker containers, but it won't be the end of the world. So I'm going to click on Next, and it's just warning me don't shut down the system during the update. And we'll let it get started. It's 1:56 right now, so when we come back, we'll see what time it is when it's done. All right, so it's now 2:03 p.m. The upgrade just finished. Nice little sign-in screen. Let's see if my saved password works. Oh, go ahead and enter my password. And there we go. Wow. Yeah, it's an eye-catching look for it. And it's nice to see it kept my layout here, even though it's still showing the wrong LAN. I'm using LAN 5, which is the internal 10 gig network card on this. I got 2 volumes in there. So let's see. It's going to take us through a welcome screen to show us what's new in DSM 7. It's streamlined and more intuitive, easier management and maintenance, faster and more secure. That's what I'm concerned about. They've kind of Androided up the icons there. They've really smoothed them and rounded them. Okay, they have active inside, config, backup, secure sign in. Good. I'm going to skip this for now. I assume we can come back. Now it says if you skip for the time being, you can configure them later. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Do you want to enable device analytics? Yes, that's fine. It's part of the reason I'm in a beta program, huh? Okay, so it'll take us through on a quick tour. And I want to skip that. Alright, so let's go to LAN 5, and there's our actual IP. That's great. So, let's go to control panel. Okay, that's different. Yeah, everything's all smoothed out. Let's go to Info Center. And we'll see our DSM. I'll have to copy or cover up our serial number, Joe. Model name FS-1018, Intel Pentium. Fan speed is quiet mode. Okay. Let's go to domain and LDAP and make sure, yep, it's still, we're still a member of the Active Directory domain. We still have our shared folders here. Let's go look at network interface, traffic control, static route connectivity. Okay. Okay, that's all I need to see on that for now. Let's go to Storage Manager. Oh, nice. It has a pictorial representation. If I click on each drive, it'll tell us information about the drive. That's pretty cool. Oh. And then my individual storage pools. Storage pool 2. And then the individual drives. Good. Now let's go to iSCSI or SAN Manager is what they call it now. Start. Okay, I'll come look back and look at that later. Okay, so it shows my Dell 720 is connected. Now, let's go do something on that Dell. Let's go see if we can't, there we go. We're going to see if we can't get that connection done again. So let's go here to this PC. No, it's not connected, so let's go to iSCSI Initiator. Shows it's connected. Let's disconnect. And we'll reconnect. But I don't see it mapping the drive letter. No, I don't. Let's go see why. Okay, now it sees it. It was offline for whatever reason. So, there's my surveillance drive, and here's my iSCSI drive. And right now, not much on there. So, let's go to Hyper-V Manager. I'm going to move my storage back. Move it back to drive D. See what happens. Alright, we'll see how long that takes. Alright, so the software is installed, everything is configured. Now, I did have to go in and reinstall Docker, but it took care of all that for me automatically. My Docker containers came up, I didn't have any trouble at all. It's been running now. I did that on the February the 4th is when I did that conversion over. Oh great, and there goes our power again. I don't know what that's all about. Well, thanks to our electric company, I just had a brownout. And of course my UPS battery shot on this workstation, so it came crashing down, but that's no big deal. I need to get a new UPS for this. We had a discussion about APC UPSs. Somebody recommended I try the CyberPower again, so I'm going to take your advice. And I'm going to get a CyberPower UPS for this unit, a 500 volt amp. We'll see how it does. Anyway, I digress. Synology 7 beta. So yeah, I installed it. I've had no problems with it at all. It did come up and tell me I needed to reinstall Docker, you know, for the beta version. I had a couple of Docker containers on their Unify, the Unify software, and then I had Pi-hole DNS on there as well. They came back up. I've had zero trouble with them. I was able to reconnect my iSCSI shares from my servers up, no issues. I'm able to use my scratch drive. Otherwise, you wouldn't be seeing this video right now because it's what I do all my editing on. So, all in all, I'd say I've had a great experience so far. It's been up and running since the 4th of February, and today is the, I don't know, what is it, the 24th. Even during all the power outages, keep in mind I have all these connected to a big 1500 VA UPS. It communicated with the UPS card in there. Thank you to John's Touchpad for donating that to the channel. And it shut down both Synology NASs, the DS918 Plus, which is my main rig, and the FS-1018, it shut them down without any trouble whatsoever. Now, mind you, the power was up and down and up and down and up and down, so that's a good test of any UPS and the software required to shut it down. So I have had, for me, now this is my experience, yours is going to be different, I've had zero problems. Now what I want to do is install the Synology directory server. I hope I'm calling that the right thing. The problem is right now this NAS is joined to my other domain, to my Middle Earth domain, and I'm going to create a new domain for Unky Joe's Playhouse, and this is going to be the basis or the starting point for my new domain. So I'm going to take you along for that ride, but I can't do it now because the FS-1018 is still joined to that old domain, so I have to unjoin it from there and then create the new Synology directory server. But then I have the issue of my workstations that I use for video editing connecting to it. So it's a whole bunch of other things that have to happen behind the scenes before any of that can happen. But I thought I'd share this experience with you, and I'll keep you updated as to how the beta is going. I don't know when Synology is going to release this out of beta. I know the beta's been very successful. They've had lots of help and lots of people. So if you want to take the chance, load the beta on your machine. It'll help Synology gain that much more information on how the beta is operating so they can release it. And I showed you some of the functionality of the beta version. It is a bit faster. The real test to see if it'll be faster is on that DS918 Plus, but that's my production NAS. Well, they're both production NAS, but it's more critical, my more critical NAS than the FS-1018. The FS-1018 is mainly used for video editing, like I said, and for lab work. So it'll be interesting to see how much faster the DS918 Plus is with this new software. Now, the other thing I'm going to do with both of these Synology NAS is update them to the maximum amount of RAM they can handle. So any donations and whatnot that you send to the channel for the month of March is going to go to the Let's Upgrade My Synology RAM Fund. You know, I toyed with an idea of buying that HP Z840 workstation, but I talked myself out of it. I have more compute power than I can use. And what I'm more interested in doing on the Synology NAS is running more items in Docker containers and possibly virtual machines. So every bit of RAM I can put onto these machines, the better. So I think that'll be a much more efficient use. I can run more Docker containers and more virtual machines on the day-to-day NAS or day-to-day virtual machines than I need for the operation of Unky Joe's Playhouse and for my business. So there you go. We hope you found the video entertaining and informative. As always, please give us a thumbs up down below if you liked it. Leave your comments down in the comments section. Donate if you're so inclined. We accept PayPal, Patreon, and of course the YouTube join function. Thanks again for coming to see us, and please don't forget, subscribe, and that we will see you on the other side.